Welcome to a Champions League stadium. Once again, we are back. Europe again, ole ole. The dust is finally settling here after a long, hard-fought season at St James's Park. My goodness, gracious me. The players and everything are finally off the pitch. You can see the groundsman there working and that. It's all getting ripped up soon. Sound fine. They're here in a couple of weeks. Can't wait for that one. But the players, the lap of honour, it's all done. Make sure just check out the match day vlog. It is sensational scenes. Bruno dives into the crowd just down there in the Leazer's end. And obviously the lads do the lap of honour on what is a strange day, to be fair, here at St James. It's a very strange day because, as you're well aware, I'm sure, Newcastle got beat 1-0 by Everton. However, thanks to Man United, an ex-Mackham, ex-Sunderland player, Amad Diallo, at Old Trafford, scored for them to make it 1-0, and then they won 2-0 thanks to an Ericsson penalty. So, down to goal difference it went in Newcastle, sitting fifth. Good enough for Champions League football. Villa miss out, Forest miss out. The Toon and Chelsea are the ones that do it on a mental day. Mad old day. Honestly, the twists and turns, the ups and downs, it never really quite got going here. It really didn't. You know, it wasn't the best, it wasn't the greatest by any stretch of the imagination. I thought everyone was very nervous. It was a very nervy, anxious atmosphere around St James's. Wore flags before the game, some brilliant displays. NUFC in the East Stand, the Heroes display in the Gallagher, and all around below me in the Leazers with the Newcastle crest in the middle of the black and white. Fantastic. And in the new kit, you know, they're advertising the new kit today that will be having Champions League badges on the sleeves. Lovely stuff. That's out next week. We'll be there for that launch. And it was just fizzled out a little bit. We never really got going. We never really created enough chances. We never really created enough chances. We never really got going. You know, we never did enough. And when we did, Pickford made the save. You know, Isak in the second half and one or two bits, but we never really threatened Everton enough. And you know, we just felt nervous. It was one of them ones that was strange. To be honest, it kind of felt like the old days a little bit, you know, the Ashley days. The anxiety was there, the fear was there. The players obviously visibly tired after a long season. I'm never ever going to slate these players now because, you know, the heroes this season, as the War Flags banner said, you know, they are heroes now. They brought silverware to Newcastle for the first time in 70 years domestically. So they're all absolute legends. And you'll see that in the vlog as well. You know, they were parading the Carabao Cup on the pitch down there as well. You had an emotional farewell from Callum Wilson. That definitely looks like his last game. You know, he was kissing the badge and everything. Rumours, people coming at me here saying, what about Gordon? You know, Gordon got dragged off at half-time against his former club. Bit of a strange one, but we had to change formation. I'm getting messages there of people saying you called it goal difference. I did. I said it would go down to goal difference, but I didn't expect it to be Man U doing us a favour. I thought we'd do our job. I didn't think, you know, we'd be relying on them, and I never thought that. But Villa obviously went down to 10 men. Martinez sent off just before half time, so that helped us massively. I thought I'd a bit more of Forest as well. To be fair, I thought at the City ground they put more of a fight up against Chelsea, but they didn't. And then it was on us, and I was thinking, well, it's in our hands. It doesn't matter. I'm not bothered about the results. I came into this game of the day so convinced we were going to win 2-0, 3-0. I really thought that, and I thought, I'm not bothered. It doesn't matter. I'll keep an eye. We'll have the TV on. We'll have the phones going. And you'll see that in the vlog as well. The crowd reacting to results around the Premier League. You know, goals going in, scores happening, things changing, and the table swapping and everything. So it was a funny, old, crazy day. But I tell you what, bit of a privilege, to be fair. You know, being in this position where, remember 10 years ago, Jonas Gutierrez scoring against West Ham on Survival Sunday to keep us in the Premier League. But now, this was to keep us in the Champions League. In the Champions League spots, the top 5. Thank goodness it was the top 5 this season as well. So we've done it. Listen, it will be on our way to Barcelona, Lazio, Roma next season, and it's huge for the club. Obviously, it's monumental. You know, we're having some talks today with people in Fleet Street before the game and that, and people are saying, Matty, would you not rather actually be in the Europa League? It might not be a bad thing. If we don't do well today and we get Europa League, we could win that. Look at Tottenham. They won a European trophy. We could do that. Are we really going to win the Champions League? Is it worth getting in the Champions League? Well, it is worth it because it's actually worth over £100 million now in that new format. And it's worth abundance in keeping these star players. You know, your Isaacs, your Brunos, your Tonales, they all want and desire to be playing Champions League football. So that's imperative, absolutely paramount. Aye, mate, aye. Are we leaving now? Alright, so in 2 minutes, mate, I'll be out. So, you know, it's so important that we do get that Champions League spot for the star players, to keep a hold of them, and then of course in the summer transfer window to get new players through the door, some star players, some big quality players. You know, if you want to be amongst the best, amongst the elite, these real stars, these real top talent, they want to be playing Champions League football. They want to be involved in the big European nights against the best and the biggest competitions, the best and biggest players and teams and managers, all of that. We need that. I tell you what, we need a big summer now, because the strength and depth, everything else, it's so important that we do hit this transfer window hard and heavy. You know, it really is. The summer window is massive for us as a club, because we don't want to do what we did last time. Obviously, we got stitched off with a group of death last time. You know, there's none of that now. It's the new format where there's more teams, there's more games. So that's not the case where we are going to be potentially out early doors. You know, you've seen the way the format lies now with that big table of 20 odd teams. That means that we will be able to compete, and we will be able to get into the latter rounds, and then maybe you will play a PSG or a Real Madrid or whoever it is in the knockouts. But that remains to be seen. That's exciting times where we'll see, and we'll look forward to who we get drawn against in the Champions League. But a busy transfer window ahead. But listen, it wasn't the best performance today, of course it wasn't, but it's been a long, hard-fought season. We've won a cup, and we've finished in the top 5, and we've got Champions League. And that is all that matters.
Just to let you know, it's last one, she's gone out and walking.
Alright, cheers, mate. So all I have to do is shoot people. Obviously, we're going to head back to Feasting now for a couple of drinks. The hospitality's here kicking out, but what a season it's been. I want to thank every single one of you that has tuned in to a Magpie channel video throughout this entire season. Thank you so much, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like on this one and let us know your thoughts below on today's game, on getting Champions League, on the summer transfer window, and what you make of the season as a whole. We'll be back on Wednesday for our live podcast, a bit of a end of season review, rewards show, you know, best player, all that sort of carry on. And yeah, I'll actually be back here in a fortnight to see Soundfinder, so I'm absolutely buzzing for that. Can't wait. As a big Soundfinder fan, love the new album, so really excited for that one. And really pleased that we've got Champions League football secured today. Please watch the vlog as well. Some great scenes in that one, some fantastic ones. In particular, Bruno jumping in the crowd. And I wasn't pretty today. Wasn't good at all, to be honest. Pretty terrible. But it doesn't matter, because thanks to Man U and thanks to Amad Diallo, we have done it. We are Champions League, and I have to say we deserve it. I feel sorry for Forest, who have dropped out at the bottom of the last few weeks. And Newcastle, rally and cry after the cup as well. Deserve it. We've done it. We're there, people. Champions League. Let's go.